All right, everybody. There are some subs that I've missed doing an occasional video about. We haven't done crappy design in over a year, so I actually get to sort this by the top for the past year. What a special occasion. Good to have you joining us. We'll begin with number 19. Impossible to plug anything into this hotel lamp outlet. I've actually had outlets, like I can't remember exactly what on, but I've definitely had instances of outlets that were like really impossible to access without it either being just a little bit pushed off to the side, or in this case, you could have, a plug that, because I have some surge protectors that do like a kind of a horizontal, and instead of the plug coming straight out perpendicular to the wall, they go parallel to the wall, and it would work in that situation. But not super well thought out, given how many things do come out perpendicularly to where they're plugged in, or especially like a big attachment for USBs. It took me 5 minutes to figure out how to activate the water. You had to spin the golden tip. Really? Why? I will say, okay, it's not the worst idea, because here's the thing, and it's, here's some drama. It's a little bit of a peeve of mine, is that Kara will wash hands, and then I'll go into the bathroom after, and there is water all over the freaking countertop, right? And I'm just like, hey, can we maybe just shake off our hands a little bit after we finish the hand wash, and then we and then we can, close the tap. And then she's like, well, it's kind of wasting water because you're doing that excess water is running while you're doing this thing. But I'm just also like, there's so much water on the countertop, and then it dries up and you have the leftover mineral residue, and then it also, like, over time it's going to go through the seals. I hate water going places it's not supposed to, because it's freaking water ruins everything. So having the on-off for at least what's not an automatic one, right? Automatic sort of solves it, but automatic sucks so much. Having the on-off be over the sink is kind of a good idea. So I don't mind this as a concept, but I would have absolutely no idea how to turn it on or off unless I lived there or knew about it. And now I know about it. So if I see it in the future, I'll be like, I know how this works. Also, it looks like it has aged horribly. You'd be like, why is the tip so messed up? Oh, that's why, because that's how you turn it on and off. Anyway, I like it. It just is unintuitive. It's cook, not cock. A doodle do. I feel like they should have gotten some fresh eyes on this one as a logo before they went with it. But negative space doesn't always work out when the part that's still in positive space actually resembles a completely different letter, and then that letter makes it a completely different word. But you guys you're so right. It's just like my logo is just an S. There's no C, it's just an S. So true, you guys. I should have worked better on my logo to make it have two letters instead of just one letter. So smart. Toilet door signs in a bar in Girona, Spain. There's no real way of knowing what gender each rock signifies. I chose wrong. I mean, maybe they're just going for the maybe it's just supposed to be any non-binary bathroom. You kind of just take your pick. I wouldn't really interpret a difference between the two, but my guess would be pee-pee. I don't know why it's just, circular rock. This would be my guess is supposed to be pee-pee. I might be wrong, though. I don't know. I'd be interested to find out what's the accurate. Also, the doorknobs are different. Frick, dude. Look, this doorknob matches this rock, and this rock matches this doorknob. Which one is it? I'm getting mixed signals. This doesn't make any sense. Okay, there's no way that they can actually say like, well, you're such an idiot. Stupid tourist. Went into the wrong bathroom. You're so dumb. This is why we don't like tourists in our restaurant, because you're stupid. You do not know which bathroom to go into. God, idiot. I still don't know which one to go into. They also like don't let you have locks on them either, so you just walk in on the wrong crowd. This toilet signage at a large local restaurant. I mean, I'm assuming it's supposed to be like burly men and then dainty woman. And also, we are handicap accessible. So, like how it's 2 posts in a row, top for the past year, that are strange bathroom signs. It just seems like you don't need to go fancy on your bathroom signage. You could just use a single letter, or you could just use the signage that most people are used to at this point. It's not that you don't have to overcomplicate it. It's really not necessary. Having the house number in the middle of a number grid. That's why would you do this? I can't tell if this is like is this an entire building and this is showing all the address? Like, this is the front door to the apartment building that has all of these unit numbers in it. Like, if you want unit numbers in the 1s or the 4s, go to the other door. Or is this just literally, this is unit 261 and they have a door with every odd number before and after? I wish I knew. 261, yes. 261 is it's slightly darker. It definitely is. It's like, I think they painted in the 261 and the rest is just the wood color behind it. But like, I don't understand. Maybe there is purpose, but then they were just stylistic about 261. Or it actually is unit 261. This is one of those situations where an HOA maybe makes a little bit of sense, and the HOA could be like, why have you done this to your door? You're going to need to revert it. Like, this just isn't going to fly. Or is every door in the building also this way? It's so unnecessarily expensive. But like, every door in the building is just a door full of numbers, but then the actual unit number is right in the center. What a weird choice. Restroom in a bar in Vietnam, taken by tourists. The steps were also wet. Does it still exist, is the question. Removed by Reddit in response to a copyright notice. Someone really didn't want this bathroom to be seen. The restaurant's like, we're a highly trafficked tourist destination. We can't let this be seen, even though the photographer holds the copyright. But hey, so let's go to number 20 to make up for that one. New smoothie cup has an airtight seal, making it impossible to suck liquid up through the provided straw. Wait, that's really funny. They didn't think about the physics. It's a lung test, all right? You gotta work hard. You gotta really be willing to deal with some serious vacuum sealage. Your lips are gonna start to really pucker around the straw, but if you can exert enough force and start to create a partial vacuum inside of the cup, then you'll really be able to enjoy that liquid. Yeah, as it turns out, if you need to have either it needs to be a vessel that can compress, or you need to have another entry for the air. Otherwise, it's not going to work very well. This is why when you turn a jug upside down, it does the glug, 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 as it's... Anyway, I'm sure you knew this, but it does apply to other things too. Anywho, back up to... I honestly don't know what's going on with this company's logo or how it's supposed to read. Wow. I mean, if the D is supposed to be read separately, it's, if you're having an emergency, we'll make you feel a little bit better in the process or uncomfortable in certain situations, But, you know, in the middle of an emergency, what better way to take your mind off of the emergency than the equipment? No, I'm sure it's supposed to be Dorotic, but they didn't really think about the D's. Maybe they were thinking about the D too much, as it turns out. Rubber ducks that can't float correctly. Oh, is it? They just topple over? Oh no, poor duckies. all of them. This is probably a fairly common problem with rubber duckies. I feel like this person just went on Amazon and they searched for rubber ducky, found all the ones that have the lowest ratings and went, this will be a good video. All the lowest rating rubber duckies, all the reviews are, they fall over, they either they sink, maybe some of them sink. That would be a really low review. Maybe these are the 2 stars. At least it floats, but it can't stay right side up. They didn't do the proper weighting so that the weight was in the bottom so that it would properly stay up. My rubber ducky's falling over. My child is crying. It thinks the duck died, and my life is ruined. Headlights gone, not OC. So I just found a major flaw in the Cybertruck's design. So as you know, this is the front of the Cybertruck. You would assume that this giant light bar, but in reality, it's just a daytime running light. Headlights are actually hidden down below. And can you guess what the issue might be in the wintertime? The snow might cover them. That's very true. Oh, they're in a place where the snow will actually just completely pile up. Like if you're driving around in a snowstorm, then, I mean, are we really surprised? I just feel like the Cybertruck itself is just an exercise in crappy design as a whole. So I don't like, you know, the finger choppy offy sort of thing, which I guess they programmatically changed or something. The brake lights on versus off being like not really that different. The headlights being down in a place you don't expect. The panels kind of corrode. There's a lot of issues going on here. Yeah. Cybertruck. Yes, good license plate. Holiday spirit is going to cause some accidents. Spot the traffic lights. Wait. Oh. I see. These are... Got it. This is not the holiday spirit. This is the traffic light. That's... Huh. That just doesn't look like there's traffic lights there. You would think that they would have noticed that. Is this the first year that they were like, hey, let's make the bridge light up, and then the people will feel the spirit of Christmas and also turn into spirits as a result of this Christmas. Yep. That's you would hope maybe that survived for, I don't know, a day before somebody messaged the city and said, hey, you guys, do you want all of your city budget to go to lawsuits this year? No? Okay, then maybe you should take this down. Why would you have any color of light on when the unit is off? Green off. Blue, green off. Oh, God. I mean, there are electronics that have lights that still are present when it's like off because it's actually in more of like a standby mode. But I feel like if you're going to do that, it should be a real, you know what? Apple kind of has it right in it's like the faint pulsating white light I associate with a standby mode. Green is on though. I'm sorry. You don't put green as the off light. That's just crazy to do. You do the faint pulsating white light is the only potentially valid indicator of kind of a sleep standby state in my mind. But red, Red makes me think it's broken. I don't like red. Red either makes me think it's broken or it's a security alarm or something. Like the cars usually have a little blinking red light even when the car is off. But yeah, otherwise red is like something is wrong. And that's why I hate being on the red team when we're playing MCC Islands or something like that, because I think that my own team is the enemy and I start taking swings at my own team and then we just get killed as a result. Maybe not the best design for end table at hotel where you place items in the dark before bed. What would you like your nightstand to look like? Cheese. I'm always craving cheese at nights. Can you make the nightstand remind me of cheese? I would very much like this. Or, we'll put some traps underneath. We've had a rat problem. Let's make the nightstands look like cheese, and then the rats will go for the traps underneath. Either that or, dude, that's so right. Maybe you chow down on some pizza and you got some left, you're at a hotel, you order some pizza delivery. That sounds like a great time. And you get some leftover slices. You can just stack the slices in here. It gives you some bonus room so that if you're in the middle of the night, you wake up and you're like, feels like midnight pizza. Then you can just grab your pizza from the convenient pizza slice holder and you can just eat in the middle. Also, with the magnifying glass cursor in there, it does look a little bit like Pac-Man going on. Yeah, it works for cake. Oh my god, it actually super works for cake. You've eaten the whole, you do the cartoon cut where you do this, and then you eat the whole cake, and then you have one slice left over, and you can store that slice right there. I mean, this is really convenient when you think about it. This type of automatic litter box becomes a death trap if the sensor fails. It needs to be recalled. Oh god, this sounds like a serious problem. Clicky. Bro, what? Jesus Christ. There's a stuffed animal, everybody, just so we're clear. Oh my god. Like, how much force does this thing execute on the... This thing actually killed some cats? Really? That is horrifying. You guys have actually heard about this? Oh my god. You know someone who... What the heck? That is wild. I am so sorry to hear that. It was all over the last year. I guess that makes sense. But dude, I'm really curious if, like, it's submitted 8 months ago. I'm really curious if, like, it had already happened or if this was someone, like, trying to warn everybody and then... Damn, bro. That's, like, I wonder if it's hard enough that if you put your hand in there and it tried to raise, if it would just, like, actually pinch you. Speaking of, man, things that you don't want hurting you. Can I sue junk mail senders who give me a paper cut with their junk mail that I don't want? Bro, it was a freak. I'm putting a piece of junk mail in the recycling. This thing sliced me like, this is why I have a Band-Aid on my finger. Sliced me like a freaking razor blade. Your stupid, I don't need your stupid junk mail. And then you make me bleed? I think that should be like an automatic, like $1 million payout so that you freaking guys stop sending your stupid junk mail because the potential downside is so far exceeding the potential upside. $1 million every time you cut someone and they bleed because of your stupid junk mail. This bottle cannot stand on its own, but will leak if left horizontal. I feel like the issue here is that they should have made a better cap. Like most things that have a lid on them, if you store it upside down, it shouldn't leak. Lids, screw top lids, we figured that out a long time ago. This is not a new problem to solve. They need to get a better supplier. Just like, I think the idea is it's just to be stored upside down. Maybe it doesn't leak if it's stored upside down. Maybe you're like trying to store it. Obviously, it doesn't stand up on the skinny tip, but it probably should stand up on the. You should try putting it on the lid. I assume if it leaks horizontally, it probably will leak vertically. But maybe it actually wouldn't. maybe it wouldn't leak vertically. Well, no, it probably would, because air would. I was thinking like, because it would create a low pressure zone at the top if the liquid tried to start coming out without air being able to go in reverse, then it would create a low pressure zone. So it kind of, like, I don't know. Have you guys ever? Have you? It's a really. I remember this. This stuck with me when we did it in physics, in like high school. When you fill the cup with water, and then you put the piece of paper over the top, flip it upside down, and then it stays in place. I love that one. Anyway, it might actually work vertically for that reason. I don't know though. I've never experienced this particular bottle. Not sure they were paying attention while decorating. This reminds me of the old Top Gear segments where they would put the decals on the car. And didn't I say they should make a subreddit called Accidental Top Gear or something? Anyway, this is Accidental Top Gear, and then they'd open the door, and then it'd be like, "Mate, did you realize that your car says cock on it?" And then they'd be like, "Oh, that's ha ha ha," and it was funny, even though obviously it was like everybody knew and it was pre-planned. It was like, "Ah, that's so funny." But that's what's happened here. Seriously, how is this road legal? Oh man, yeah, it's a weird one as well. Although I will say there are on some higher end vehicles as well. I've seen my fair share of weird turn signals. Anyway, maybe some will find this useful. Even after driving my, I also, whenever people say M3 for a Tesla, I get irrationally angry because an M3 is a BMW. An M3 is not a Tesla. And I die on this hill. As stupid as it sounds, it bothers me. But anyway, even after driving my M3H for 5,000 kilometers, I would still have problems accurately locating the indicator buttons. The issue being they're flat surfaces. I bought 8mm door buffer bumps from Bunnings and stuck one to the left of each arrow. So the fact that you don't actually click directly on the arrow and you're like, that is not great, at all. I will say, like, there are weird ones though. Like in Lamborghini, they have a thing where it's just a little clicky. It's not a joystick. It's a 2-directional joystick, and you go this way and you go that way, and then if you want to cancel it, you push it, which is I think a horrible design. It's very dumb, but yeah. Anyway, this, at least it's a physical button. So, oh, arrow is where you click. You didn't want to cover it in case it wouldn't. Oh, okay. Got it. So you like, oh, to the left of each arrow. I see. So the goal is he wants to be able to just, without looking, he wants to feel it and then go, I click to the right of the button each time or something like that. But, yeah. Anyway, physical buttons are as weird as there are some things in fancy cars. I have never seen touchscreen blinkers before. That's a bad one. Blinkers on touch is bad. Anyway, top 2 for the last year. Demonetization prevention sign at my college. Why? It just feels like this person is being bullied into self-immolation by the words themselves. I feel like I'm being pushed to the brink by looking at the sign. Was this put up by the campus themselves? Because I'd just like to know how it went through all the different layers of bureaucracy within school administration, and every step of the way they were like, "Hey, clear it to the next level." This is, maybe it was a high-paying donor to the school who was like, "Hey guys, I've given you $10 million. I would like to put this sign on display on the lawn," and they were like, Well, on one hand, it's the worst thing we've ever seen. On the other hand, we would like you to give us $10 million again in the future. So who are we to say no? All right. The top for the last year of crappy design. What a grand finale. My landlord's carpenter hooked us up with this beauty today. Huh. Is that, was it the microwave that you were hooked up with? Because the stove seems okay. The microwave is, it seems a little, oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. This needs ventilation. Thank you guys for reminding me of that very important component to the whole stove thing. Yeah, there's a few things going on here, isn't there? One being that is a very tall microwave. I would not be able to reach, put things in, take things out. There would be some spillage, but I wonder if the other microwave, like, did that come first? And then the landlord was like, hey, we'll give you one. Here's your free microwave. We're upgrading your unit. Also, we're not giving you the vent that you requested. We're just putting a new microwave on top of the existing stove. And yes, it doesn't look great, but I see what they went for. They probably, wanted to bring it close to this overhang here and kind of use that as a way to mount the shelf for some support. So it's not just, entirely mounted on the wall, but then a lot of forward tipping. I don't know. And it just looks really bad. So, yeah. Hey, it could be worse. They could have not hardwired the thing in. They could have then had a cable that was like coming out of the front, plugged into this outlet right there. For this level of craftsmanship, I would honestly kind of expect that was going to be the case. Just a cable coming out of here and then plugged into that. Yeah. I feel like it's not necessarily the worst crappy design over the last year, but, at least it's not your house. At least you didn't pay a contractor, and then this was the end result, and you're like, hey, guys, do I need to pay this? What do I do in this situation? No, it also just looks like some raw plywood or something that they grabbed. Oh, did they give enough clearance on the door hinge to open? Anyway, we're overanalyzing it. That's the last year of crappy design. I hope you've enjoyed, and make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.